All right, let's look at some CPA exam changes for January 2022. The audit exam will see the biggest change in January 2022, and it's in the reporting section, audit reporting. There's a new audit report for a non-issuer, and the report looks nothing at all like the old one, but it looks very much like the report for an issuer. The two reports, issuer and non-issuer, are now closely aligned, in that they both have the audit opinion in the first section, and the basis for the opinion is in the second section. The non-issuer's report that you have to know now for January 2022 looks a lot like the issuer's audit report. The two reports are now almost the same, in that they both start with the opinion and then have the basis for opinion. So if you've been taking audit up to now, you know that the non-issuer's audit report looked very different than that. The opinion was buried in like the third or fourth paragraph before. No more. Now the audit opinion is in the first section of the audit report, just like it is for an issuer. And you can find this in the I-75 audit course, totally updated for 2022. Here's a look at the independent auditor's report for the non-issuer now. Notice the opinion section is first, then the basis for opinion section. And those are the only two that have to be in that order. Generally, you'll see the responsibilities of management in the third section, but it doesn't have to be that way. And then the auditor's responsibilities in the fourth section, but that's not mandatory either. The only thing that's mandatory is that the opinion and basis for opinion are first and second in that order. Now, brand new to the non-issuer audit report is this idea of reporting on key audit matters within the audit report. When the auditor is engaged to report on key audit matters, then the section on key audit matters is generally third, right after the basis for opinion section. So the new audit report that you've got to know starting in 2022, opinion is first, basis for opinion second. If the auditor is hired to report on key audit matters, that section would be third. And then you'd have management's responsibility and the responsibilities of the auditor. But Darius, what are the only two that have to be in the order? Opinion and basis for opinion. Those are the only two that are mandatory to be first and second. What about key audit matters? You don't have to report on key audit matters? That's right. For a non-issuer, it's optional. The auditor might be engaged to report on key audit matters or might not be. It's not mandatory. Let's try this question. In the auditor's report for a non-issuer, which of the following is presented in the second section? All right, basis for opinion, letter A. That's the second section, isn't it? Because what's first? The opinion section is first. It goes opinion section and then basis for opinion second. So letter A looks good. B, responsibilities of management. That's definitely not in the second section. Neither is auditor's responsibility or key audit matters. So the answer is A. The basis for opinion is the second section of the audit report for the non-issuer. Just like it is now for an issuer, the two reports are very closely aligned. All right, let's try this question. Which of the following is a heading that should be in the auditor's report for a non-issuer? A, auditor's responsibility for the financial statements. Auditor's responsible for the financial statements? No. There is an auditor's responsibility section of the report, but it doesn't say auditor's responsibility for the financial statements. B, responsibilities of management for the financial statements. Yeah, that sounds good. C, accountant's audit report. That's not a section of the report. D, responsibility for the report. That's not a section of the report. So the correct answer is B, responsibilities of management for the financial statements. I'm Darius Clark, and I think the best way to learn is by doing multiple choice questions. And when it comes to CPA review, the right teacher makes all the difference. And here's the report again. You can see the opinion sections first, basis for opinion second. And in this report, we don't have any key audit matters being reported on. So the responsibilities of management for the financial statements section is third, and the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements is fourth. But what are the only two sections that have to be 1 and 2? Opinion first, basis for opinion second. And that's the same now for a non-issuer as it is for an issuer. So this is considered a very large change, and yes, the exam will test this starting in January of 2022. So while the new audit report for the non-issuer is the big change for audit, what about BEC and FAR? Well, the good news is there's no changes to FAR or BEC in January of 2022. FAR changed a little bit in July of 2021. Just recently there was the change where IFRS was removed, no longer tested. Discontinued operations as a standalone topic, no longer tested. And nothing was added to FAR. They just took away. What about BEC? Well, no changes in January of 2022. The most recent change was in July, where data analytics and visualization was added, and also internal control monitoring for change was added. And of course, I-75 has you covered for all the changes. Okay, what about REG changes? Now, REG went through big changes in July of 2021, where a bunch of topics were removed, like estates and trusts and alternative minimum tax, and much of the securities laws were removed. So now, what are the REG changes you got to be aware of? Well, the child tax credit has been increased to $3,000 per child under age 18 and $3,600 under age 6. The dependent care credit is now $4,000 for one child, $8,000 for 2 or more children in daycare. Say goodbye to the 100% charitable contribution for individuals. It's going back to AGI limits again. No more 25% charitable contribution deduction for C Corps. It's going back to 10%. The last two were temporary fixes for a while during COVID to encourage more charitable giving. So all they're doing on these last two items are rolling back the old rules prior to COVID. The I-75 course has you covered. Go to CPAexamtutoring.com. If you're struggling to pass the CPA exam because your course didn't fit your learning style, get yourself on I-75, where the right teacher makes all the difference.